a massive crime scene.
The big case that started all of this was the disappearance of Shannan Gilbert.
Police say the remains were actually found by their canine unit.
Who is this victim, and are there more remains?
There may be even more bodies out there.
So far, 4 have been found, and Suffolk police say this could be the work of one person.
Canine searches, helicopter area searches, we involved the FBI.
I don't want anybody to think that we have a Jack the Ripper running around Suffolk County with blood dripping from a knife.
We do believe that this item was handled by the suspect and did not belong to any of the victims.
Shannan dials 911. It's a very compelling, dramatic tape. She was on the phone for 20 minutes.
Those tapes are shocking.
Why has the department not released those to the media or to the public?
So I want to be clear on that because I know there's been a lot of speculation.
I will not stop this fight until we find this killer.
We're looking at that we could have a serial killer.
This may be a cold case for some time.
It's unreal, and I'm just not.
We saw a bag with a bone sticking out.
A sunny day, April 1996. 2 brothers out for a walk on a Fire Island beach stumble upon a bag with a woman's dismembered legs inside.
I said to my brother, the doctor, I said, what kind of bone does that look like? And he said, it looks like a thigh bone. And I said, how do you know? He said, open up the other end of the bag.
As soon as we opened the bag, saw a red toenail sticking through and opened a little bit more, and it was a whole foot.
News 12 Long Island was there as Suffolk police responded to the grisly discovery on Blue Point Beach in Davis Park.
Within a half hour, there was a couple of police here.
We're looking into missing persons in both Suffolk, Nassau counties and other areas. At this particular point in time, there doesn't appear to be anyone in Suffolk County.
The case grew cold. No one knew it then, 24 years ago. But those dismembered legs with the red toenails were the first sign of the existence of the Long Island serial killer. A person who would become known as the Gilgo Beach serial killer. About a year after the Fire Island discovery in June of 1997, a hiker more than 40 miles away found another dismembered woman, this time in a green plastic bin in Hempstead Lake State Park in neighboring Nassau County.
Her head and hands had also been severed, and she wore this heart-shaped peach tattoo on her breast.
And the bodies of the dismembered women continued to be found. 3 years later, in November of 2000, a woman's torso discovered in a wooded area near Halsey Manor Road in Manorville. 3 years after that, in July of 2003, a second torso was found a mile away.
Saturday's victim had this wing tattoo on her lower right back, and police say the scrape lines were probably left by the killer. Both victims had their hands and head cut off, and there were no signs of struggle on their bodies.
Is this a serial killer?
We have no evidence that these 2 crimes are linked.
This is how things remained for 7 more years. Suffolk police not publicly drawing a connection between the 4 dismembered women. 4 separate crime scenes in 3 different locations, miles apart: Hempstead Lake State Park, Davis Park on Fire Island, and the woods of Manorville.
Then, December 11, 2010, a stunning development. A Suffolk police officer with his canine Blue found a woman's body along Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach. The media at first told he was conducting a training exercise.
The dog gave me an indication, which means his tail started waving. He started sampling the air. At that point, I saw the skeletal remains of a body.
2 days later, 3 more women were found, their bodies dumped in a similar way along the north side of Ocean Parkway.
Police saying today they were dumped separately over the last year and a half.
Thrown out of a vehicle into the foliage, into the area that's off the roadway so that they wouldn't be seen.
It was on December 14th, 2010, when we first heard the term serial killer connected to the 4 bodies that have been found here along Ocean Parkway. We were standing here in Oak Beach at a news conference when I asked then Suffolk Police Commissioner Richard Dormer if he believed one person had murdered all of these women.
You say there's enough similarities that you're certain the same
same person murdered these four and dumped them here?
Well, look, you know, I don't think it's a coincidence that 4 bodies in this area. Certainly, we're looking at that we could have a serial killer.
It was at that news conference that we also learned Suffolk police found the bodies not during a training exercise, but while looking for 24-year-old Shannan Gilbert, an upstate New York woman living in Jersey City who vanished in May of 2010 after working as an escort for an Oak Beach man she met on Craigslist. Oak Beach is a gated community more than a 50-mile drive from Manhattan. It turned out none of the women who would become known as the Gilgo Four were Shannan Gilbert. Police suspected early on they could also be sex workers. Police Commissioner Dormer said at the time,
I don't want anybody to think that we have a Jack the Ripper running around Suffolk County with blood dripping from a knife, which might be the impression that some people would get. It's not that type of situation.
1 month later, Suffolk police officially identified the 4 women as sex workers who vanished between 2007 and 2010. 25-year-old Maureen Brainard Barnes reported missing from Norwich, Connecticut, July 2007. 24-year-old Melissa Bartholomew reported missing from the Bronx, July 2009. 22-year-old Megan Waterman reported missing in Maine, June 2010. And 27-year-old Amber Lynn Costello, last seen in North Babylon, Long Island, September 2010. But still, no sign of Shannan Gilbert, and her family, represented by attorney John Ray, kept the pressure on the Suffolk Police Department.
The killer still lurks.
I'm gonna find Shannan if it takes me the rest of my lifetime.
Time of 2010, I was the chief of detectives of the Suffolk County Police Department. I was reluctant to do this interview.
Earlier this year, Dominic Varone, who is now retired, agreed to speak with me in this rare one-on-one interview about the Gilgo Beach serial killer investigation that he oversaw.
What were your thoughts when, okay, so one body was found and you realized it wasn't Shannan Gilbert?
Surprise. Shock, surprise. We were all convinced that this was Shannan Gilbert. I do know that we did an exhaustive search for Shannan, a whole year, canine searches, helicopter aerial searches. We involved the FBI. At one point, almost the entire team of investigators flew up from the Behavioral Analysis Unit in Quantico, Virginia.
Gilbert was finally found in December 2011, a full year after the Gilgo Four. During the search for Gilbert, a total of 10 sets of other human remains were found along Ocean Parkway, including the body of an Asian male and a female toddler.
The area in and around Gilgo Beach has been used to discard human remains for some period of time.
DNA then linked some of the newly discovered body parts back to the 4 dismembered women from the late 90s and early 2000s.
A skull found in Nassau, part of the woman whose legs were found on Fire Island. Arms with gold jewelry, part of the woman with the peach tattoo. The toddler determined to be her child. And finally, a head and hands linked to the 2 Manorville torsos.
A lot of questions still remain as to how many serial killers do we have. And certainly that cluster, that close group, we know that was one serial killer. It becomes more controversy when you look at the male that was found nearby and killed in another manner. In almost all of these cases, these victims were dead before it was even reported to the police that they were missing. Shannan was an exception.
So what did happen to Shannan Gilbert the last night she was seen alive in May 2010? A man named Michael Pack had driven her to the Oak Beach home of the man who hired her, Joseph Brewer. But are likely Gilbert's final moments were captured on an almost 20-minute frantic 911 recording as she ran from Brewer's home.
It was initially for a 2-hour session. They extended it to a 4-hour session. Sometime in that morning, things were not going well. Brewer wanted her out of the house, woke up Michael Pack. While this is going on, Shannan dials 911. We believe she then stumbles down the stairs and runs. And she didn't know where she was. She sounded disoriented.
Neighbors told us she started knocking on their doors.
She was running for that house because she was afraid of something.
She was afraid of someone.
She looks at him like she's in a trance, and then she runs off.
Barone says Michael Pack knew police were on the way and drove off without Gilbert.
That's critical. They are not aware of that 18-minute phone call that the state police have. They search the area. Michael Pack, no vehicle is found. Had Michael Pack stayed there, and perhaps Shannan Gilbert could have been found and located.
Gilbert's autopsy was inconclusive. Over the next few years, there was debate over whether Gilbert was killed or drowned in the marsh, as suggested by Police Commissioner Dormer. But after 2011, Suffolk police refused to publicly discuss the case. Barone was out as the chief of detectives when James Burke became the new police chief.
Immediately after we were pushed out at the end of 2011, they kind of put a cloak of secrecy over the whole thing, which I think was not good. It inhibits public assistance.
And that cloak of secrecy surrounding the case lasted until now. 2020 saw the biggest developments yet in this investigation.
Why are you speaking with us now?
We should really be relying on the public. The thought is somebody out there knows something.
Mr. Brewer, it's News 12. Can we talk to you?
Dr. Hackett is right at the center of it all.
James Burke and Dr. Peter Hackett were in connection with each other.
48-year-old John Bitroff of Manorville was arraigned today, charged with murdering 2 women. Suffolk District Attorney Tom Spoda says there could be more victims out there.
It's been nearly a decade of suspicion around the Gilgo Beach unsolved murders. There was also secrecy about the case under Suffolk Police Chief James Burke. His refusal to work with the FBI, leading to cries of a cover-up.
He could pretty much do whatever he wanted with regard to that investigation.
In the fall of 2015, there was one public news conference when Tim Sini became the new police commissioner.
Bringing the FBI to the table with all of its expertise and resources is a step in the right direction.
But then nothing publicly until January of 2020. The current police commissioner, Geraldine Hart, releasing never-seen-before evidence, a belt found at one of the original crime scenes.
We do believe that this item was handled by the suspect and did not belong to any of the victims.
Police also sent DNA from the still unidentified victims to the FBI for familial DNA and genetic genealogy, techniques not approved at the time by the New York State crime labs.
If they're identified and their lives then can be traced, and we can see perhaps a history, a connection between one and another.
Then in May, the biggest development yet in this case. The woman known as Manorville Jane Doe had been ID'd 20 years after her torso was found.
Valerie Mack, who was 24 years old in 2000 when she went missing. She was working as an escort in Philadelphia. Family members last saw her in the spring or summer of 2000 in the area of Port Republic, New Jersey. She was never reported missing. That really was a boost to the investigation. It definitely gave us new leads to follow and a new timeline to establish.
Commissioner Hart recently sat down with me for a one-on-one interview about the unsolved serial killings. I was given an hour of her time, the most access I've ever been granted to a top police official on this case in the 17 years that I've been covering it.
Why are you speaking about this now?
The decision was made. This is really kind of a different stage we should enter now. We should really be relying on the public.
Hart has a unique perspective on the investigation. When the Gilgo Four were found, she was with the FBI. She told me without hesitation the FBI was blocked from the case from 2012 to late 2015.
There was definitely an intentional decision made by both the district attorney at the time, Tom Spoda, and the administration that included Jim Burke to keep the FBI out of the kind of the heart of the investigation.
Why was the decision made, do you know, to keep the FBI out of the investigation?
It's hard to know. My viewpoint is that any investigation benefits from having as many people at the table.
Police Chief James Burke was arrested by the FBI in December of 2015 and pled guilty to beating a suspect in an unrelated case. Former Suffolk District Attorney Tom Spoda later convicted at federal trial for covering up for Burke in that case. And at that trial, jurors also heard testimony that Spoda promoted Burke over the years, despite knowing he had been caught having sex with a prostitute in his police car.
Today, Suffolk County Police Chief James Burke finds himself on the opposite end of the very laws he was sworn to uphold.
Burke has never been named a suspect by the Suffolk Police Department in the Gilgo killings. Neither has John Bitroff, Joseph Brewer, or Dr. Peter Hackett. Although Gilbert's family attorney, John Ray, believes Hackett is responsible.
Hackett was thrown into the spotlight when he called Shannan's mother days after she vanished. Mary Gilbert told reporters Hackett said he ran a home for wayward girls, and Hackett initially denied calling Mary to News 12.
I didn't make, I returned some calls. I never saw Shannan Gilbert.
Phone records later proved otherwise. Hackett is still facing a civil lawsuit by Gilbert's estate. Here's what Hackett's attorney says about it now.
Dr. Hackett, when we spoke to him, he denied calling Mary Gilbert. Why did he do that?
Dr. Hackett, first of all, got confused at one point between the deceased and the mother. And he did speak to the mother. He never spoke to the deceased. And he was concerned about the mother, saying, listen, there's a report about that she's missing, and she was acting rather irrationally that night.
What do you say to those ongoing accusations?
They're despicable. Mr. Hackett, Dr. Hackett, has never killed anyone, and there is no evidence linking him to the death of this poor girl.
As part of his civil suit, attorney John Ray fought the Suffolk Police Department in court and won, receiving a copy of the 911 recordings from Gilbert's last known night alive. A judge has barred him from speaking specifically about what's on the tape. He has demanded, though, that police release it to the media.
Those tapes are shocking.
Why has the department not released those to the media or to the public?
Right. So I want to be clear on that because I know there's been a lot of speculation that's come up around this. We are prohibited by law from releasing 911 tapes to the public. So that's not anything that's ambiguous.
But would those 911 tapes make a difference? Investigators have already heard them, including Dominic Verone, who, as I told you, was chief of detectives and in charge of the case in 2010 and 2011.
It's a very compelling, dramatic tape, and it will certainly fan the flames that Shannan was murdered. I strongly believe, based on the background sounds and listening to that tape over and over again, that she was just irrational, and she was just in an irrational, emotional state, and I don't think, that someone was trying to kill her. It cannot be ruled out.
Her death was ruled by the medical examiner to be undetermined. So, therefore, we're open to the idea that it could have been a murder. We're open to the idea that it could have been accidental.
The bottom line, will this case ever be solved?
Is there a suspect?
So, no, we do not have a suspect now, but I do not comment on whether somebody was or somebody wasn't a suspect, so that's something I would go into. But we certainly do not have anybody that we're looking to arrest anytime in the immediate future.
Can you say that the department obviously has investigated numerous people over the years
Certainly.
and run down those leads?
Certainly, and that's an ongoing process.
This may be a cold case for some time.
No suspects, no arrests, and as time ticks away, memories fade.
It's something that we hope is resolved at some point in some time.
So what's next? So far, Suffolk police have put out a total of 4 photos of a belt they believe was touched by the killer.
We have received, a number of tips on that. And we tracked them all down, traced them all down.
There are still 4 unidentified victims with DNA that may be too degraded to be useful. Commissioner Hart says the public is key to solving these murders.
We need to give them information. The hope is that something triggers inside them.
A majority of the victims were lured to Long Island and killed during the summer months.
Look at the times that the people were last seen and when they were murdered, and think of any people in their lives, husbands, boyfriends, or relatives, or somebody that may have had the opportunity or the means.
But deliver us from evil.
Amen. You think about just, human nature. Something, might strike you as odd.
Do you think that the killer or killers could still be alive and living on Long Island?
We certainly don't have any reason to believe that now. And the thought is, is this individual dead? Is this individual incarcerated? There's no reason to believe that they're continuing to kill people in this area.
Will this case ever be solved?
So I can tell you that we are committed to continuing to do everything that we can to make sure that we bring justice to the families of these victims. It's almost generational now, because these women, some of them had children, and they're teenagers now and suffering, kind of thinking what happened to their mother. And I can't imagine that kind of pain. Not to know what happened to your mother must be torture.
Perhaps the killer himself could come forth. Maybe it's about time he do that.
Today released those tapes, hoping to help unravel the 12-year-old Gilgo Beach mystery. Today, a bit of a shocking finding. Police now say that they do not believe that Shannan Gilbert's death is a case of murder.
But they hope this and other evidence they decided to release today will help them solve what has been a rather embarrassingly long unsolved cases of mass murder, the murders or other kinds of deaths of 7 other people in Suffolk County and 3 others in Nassau County.
Eyewitness News reporter Kristen Thorne is live in Brentwood with our lead story tonight. Kristen.
Liz and Bill, police have been saying for quite some time that they weren't exactly sure if Gilbert was murdered or if she died in a marsh near Gilgo Beach. But after hearing these calls today, it does sound like that is a possible scenario.
No, stop it, please. Stop it, please. Please stop it. Please stop it, no.
In the 23-minute 911 phone call released by police from 2010, we hear Shannan Gilbert go from scared for her life to confused.
Why are you calling me by my name?
What's the matter? Are you okay?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me?
Let's go back to Manhattan.
Police say that's the voice of Michael Pack, Gilbert's bodyguard. Police say Pack drove Gilbert to the home of Joseph Brewer in Ocean Beach. Brewer had hired Gilbert, who was a sex worker.
At some point during the meeting with Brewer, Shannan reportedly began acting irrational.
Please, you to the door?
No, time to go.
Please, something's going to happen to me.
There's nobody outside. You're okay, right?
After that, Gilbert runs out of the house. She starts knocking on people's doors. Those people call 911 too.
43 the Bayou. Some woman is knocking at my door. She says she's in danger.
The last thing we hear on the call is Gilbert running again. Police say they believe Gilbert ran into this marsh in Gilgo, which would have looked like this at the time that night. They believe that's where Gilbert died.
Right now, we believe it's a tragic accident.
Police do not believe Gilbert's death is related to the murders of other sex workers whose remains were later found in Gilgo. For the first time, they're explaining why.
In this case, she's found on the south side of the parkway. In all the other cases, they're found on the north side of the parkway. In this case, our victim called 911. None of the other cases resulted in 911 calls. She's found with her identification with her. She's found with money with her, with cash with her. There's no effort to conceal her body.
So I think the real news today is that for the first time after all of these years, we have police acknowledging that they do not believe that Shannan Gilbert's death is related to the other murders of sex workers found in this area of Gilgo Beach, and that is very big news. Police say that Brewer and Pack, if you were curious about them, they say that they fully cooperated with this investigation and they're not considered suspects in anything at this time.
I'm Detective Lieutenant Kevin Byra, the commanding officer of the Suffolk County Police Homicide Section. This video was made to explain the circumstances surrounding the 3 911 calls made on the day Shannan Gilbert went missing. The full, unedited 911 calls are available, and I encourage people to listen to them in their entirety. Portions of the call taken out of context will sound sensational. During the early morning hours of May 1st, 2010, Shannan Gilbert, a Craigslist sex worker and resident of Jersey City, New Jersey, traveled from Manhattan to meet a client, Joseph Brewer, at his home at 8 The Fairway, Oak Beach, New York. Shannan was driven to Oak Beach from Manhattan by her driver, Michael Pack. Neither one was familiar with the area, neither one had been there before, and neither one had met Brewer before. Pack waited in the car while Shannan was inside with Brewer. Pack was her de facto security. At 4:51 a.m., while at Brewer's house, Shannan called 911. This call lasts for more than 21 minutes. At times, Shannan is speaking calmly, but slurring her words. At times, she is not responsive, and at times, she is screaming. During this call, Brewer and Pack are heard trying to get Shannan to leave the house. Shannan eventually does leave the house and runs to Gus Coletti's house, located at 17 The Fairway, which causes him to call 911 at 5:22 a.m.
State Police, Trooper Fry. State Police. Yeah, there's somebody after me. I'm sorry? There's somebody after me. Where are you? There's somebody after me. Okay, where are you? There's somebody after me. Where are you, ma'am? I don't know. You're driving right now? No, I'm inside the house. I'm sorry? I'm inside the house. What house? I don't know. Can you trace where I am? I'm sorry? Can you trace where I am? No, I can't. What's your callback number you're calling from? Huh? What phone number are you calling from? Somebody's after me. Please. Are you in Suffolk County or Nassau County? I'm in Long Island. Where on Long Island are you? No. 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 No, stop, no. Where in Long Island are you? In Suffolk County? Nassau County? Huh? All right. Why didn't you call me by my name? Why? County, you on the line? Stop. Please. Stop it, please. Please stop. Please. Can you shut the door? No, time to go. Please. 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 Go that way, please. Come on, let's go. Come on, roll that side. Come on, go outside. Come on, all of us. Come on, roll that side. Come on. No, please. Come on. Come on. Please, come on. Please. Come on. Why? Just come out here. I'll go upstairs. You leave. I'm just going upstairs. I'm going to go upstairs. You leave. I'm going to go upstairs. Okay? You leave, please. Please, get there. My clothes. All right. What's the matter? Are you okay? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me? She's in my house on my phone. Why? Huh? Well, I don't know, but it was transferred to me. Why? No. Are you going to tell me? I think it's Suffolk County on the north for the police. It's County Monanson. Why are you going to... Call Suffolk County. You freaking mad? Come on. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Let's go back to Manhattan. Right? We're in Long Island. We're out near the water. Please stop. Me, Mike. Brother, come on. No, stop it, please. Hello? Hello? Please. What's the problem? What's the matter? What happened? Hello? Please, get me out of here, please. Hello? You're being sarcastic about this. You were part of this all along. I have met him just now.
Shannan then ran from Brewer's house at 8 The Fairway to Gus Coletti's house at 17 The Fairway, a distance of 0.2 of a mile.
Shannan.
Shannan interacts with Coletti. He invites her inside his home.
Shannan.
Somebody here for you? Huh?
Hello? Hello?
Don't keep yourself hurt. Where are you going? Wait a minute. Where are you going? Where are you going?
She then runs from Coletti's home, prompting Coletti to call 911. After Coletti's call, Shannan then runs another 0.2 of a mile to another home at 43 The Bayou, prompting a third 911 call made at 5:30 a.m. by Barbara Brennan.
Suffolk Police 873, what's the location of your emergency?
Yes, I live at Oak Beach in the association. There's a young girl about 14 years old running around here screaming, and there's some guy trying to follow her.
What's the address there?
I'm at 17 The Fairway.
All right, you have a description of the girl or the boy?
Pardon me?
Do you have a description of the girl or the boy?
The girl is about 14 years old, got blonde hair, very small. The boy, I can't tell. He was into like a Suburban.
What color?
Black.
Did you happen to get a plate number or any?
No, I didn't.
Okay, telephone number you're calling from?
4.
Are they still on the fairway?
They just went past the gatehouse where the entrance is.
And what's the name of the complex?
It's Oak Beach Association.
Okay.
Out at by Robert Moses.
All right, we got somebody over there.
I'll be watching.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Suffolk Police 875. What is the location of your emergency?
43 The Bayou. Some woman is knocking at my door.
What town are you in?
Oak Beach Association.
What's the nearest corner street now?
Ocean Parkway. She says she's in danger.
Do you know her or no?
No, I don't. I'm not letting her in.
She's banging on your door now?
Yes.
Did she say what kind of danger?
No.
Oh.
And we live in a gated community.
What's your name, ma'am?
Barbara Brennan.
What's there a name to that community?
Oak Beach Association.
Oak Beach Association.
And I have an elderly mother here.
All right, I'll get somebody right over there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is drone footage and footage shot from the ground showing the marshland. It was taken at the same time of year and time of day as when Shannan went missing. These reeds can grow over 12 feet tall. They can disorient someone inside them, causing them to lose a sense of direction. One cannot tell where the highway is or where the bay is. The reeds and brush can become impenetrable in places. There's a trench running east and west through the marshland. This was created to allow mosquito control. It is believed that Shannan followed this trench. Personal belongings of hers were found just north of the trench. Shannan's remains were found north of the trench, about 158 feet south of Ocean Parkway, approximately 3/4 of a mile from where she was last seen. There has been information received during the course of this investigation that other people might be involved in this incident. They have all been investigated, and there is no reason to believe at this time that anyone else is involved in this tragic series of events. The police responded to Coletti and Brennan's 911 calls. Pack, Brewer, and Shannan were all gone. Gus Coletti provided a description of Pack's car, which was also gone. This created the possibility that Shannan had been driven out of the area, which caused a delay in the initial search for her. The police department has thoroughly investigated this case for more than a decade. The official cause of Shannan's death is undetermined. This official classification means there is insufficient or no evidence to determine or even to exclude an actual cause of death. The Gilbert family has hired a private pathologist to conduct an autopsy. His determination is there is insufficient information to determine a definite cause of death, but the autopsy findings are consistent with homicidal strangulation. That pathologist's report will be made available. This case, including the 911 call, and all of the other cases commonly referred to as Gilgo, in their entirety, were made available to the Behavioral Analysis Unit, or BAU, of the FBI. As part of BAU's review of the case, they retained the services of a psychiatrist to review Shannan's words and actions on the 911 tape, and also to review the facts of the case. BAU's opinion, based on their review of Shannan's case, the scene, the 911 calls, and a psychiatrist review, is that Shannan Gilbert's death is not consistent with Shannan being the victim of violence or of a violent offender. Significant differences between Shannan's death and the circumstances surrounding the other victims' deaths were also highlighted by BAU. The Suffolk County Police Department is open to evaluate any evidence to be able to help us and all involved determine a definite cause of death. However, based on the evidence, the facts, and the totality of the circumstances, the prevailing opinion is that Shannan's death, while tragic, was not a murder and is most likely an accident. While we are of the opinion that this was an unfortunate accident, we remain open to evaluate any information that the public may have. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS.
09, how can I assist you? Hello? Hello? Hello, you dialed into the 911 system. How can I assist you? Hello?
Yeah.
Do you need the police?
Yeah.
Where? Where? Who's there with you? Hello? What's going on?
Oh, there's somebody after me.
What?
Somebody after me.
Somebody is harassing you?
After me.
Who?
Can you trace where I am?
Let me talk to him.
Can you trace where I am?
Let me talk to him.
I'm by the Jones Beach.
You're at Jones Beach?
By the Jones Beach.
All right, let me connect you to state police. Stay on the line.
Why?
You got to talk louder to them.
Why? Why?
State Police, Trooper Fry. State Police.
Yeah, there's somebody after me.
I'm sorry?
There's somebody after me.
Where are you?
There's somebody after me.
Okay, where are you?
There's somebody after me.
Where are you, ma'am?
I don't know.
You're driving right now?
No, I'm inside the house.
I'm sorry?
I'm inside the house.
What house?
I don't know. Can you trace where I am?
I'm sorry?
Can you trace where I am?
No, I can't. What's your callback number you're calling from?
Huh?
What phone number are you calling from?
Somebody's after me. Please.
Are you in Suffolk County or Nassau County?
I'm in Long Island.
Where on Long Island are you?
No. 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 No, stop, no.
Where in Long Island are you? In Suffolk County? Nassau County?
Huh? All right. Why you call me by my name? Why?
County, you on the line?
Stop. Please. Stop it, please. Please stop. Please. Can you shut the door?
No, time to go.
Please. Please. Please.
Go that way, please. Come on, let's go. Come on, roll that side. Come on, go outside. Come on, all of us. Come on, roll that side. Come on.
No, please.
Come on. Please, come on.
Please.
Come on.
Why? Why?
County, are you on the line?
Hurry up, I want to show you something.
Why?
I want to show you this. Please come on. Please.
Why? Why are you guys doing this to me?
What?
Doing this.
What county are you in, ma'am?
Doing this. Why are you calling me by my name? Please.
Please, give me here.
No, please.
Give me here.
No.
Please.
No, stop it, please. Stop it, please. Please, stop it. Please, stop it. No, please. Stop it. Please, stop it. No.
Let me fix that.
Please stop it. No, please stop it, please. Please stop it, please. No, what are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me? Stop it.
Please, get him out of here. What do you want?
Mama.
I'll go upstairs. You leave. I'm going to sit upstairs. Look, I'm going to go upstairs. You leave. I'm going to go upstairs. Okay? You leave, please. Please, take care. My hold. What's the matter? Are you okay?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me?
She's in a house on my...
Why?
Huh? Well, I don't know, but it was transferred to me.
Why?
No.
You going to kill me?
It came into, I think it's Suffolk County on the transferred to the county Manhattan.
Why are you going to
call Suffolk County?
You freaking down, come on.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Let's go back to Manhattan, all right? We're in Long Island. We're up near the water.
Please, stop.
Please, Mike. Brother, come on.
No, stop it, please.
Oh, okay, fine.
Please take my time to let you die.
Yeah, I'm near the water. And saying, let's go.
I didn't do anything.
631. 511.
Why? Mike, can you close that?
Some guy named Mike here.
Mike, why? 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 Why, Mike? For fun? For me? I'm never going to enjoy it again. Why? I never do. I never did. Mike, please. Mike, please. Please. Please.
There's something I don't know what phone she's calling from, but I transferred her back. Can you see where she's coming from? She needs help.
You're like, I'm going to find my way home.
It's somebody in the house with the female. And the female was the initial caller.
So this is all set up?
You set everything up? Remember, I waited for you. You told me you're going to find your way home, so I was like, what? You know, nothing that I found.
So this is all set up?
You've never seen this before.
okay?
Well, you're joking with me, right?
Why?
I don't know. Why are you doing that?
All right, I'll say I was lying. I was lying. You did? Why? It was a 631 number. Why?
You can try talking to her, but she's not. I think she's got the phone down.
Please. Hello? Hello? Please. What's the matter? What happened? Hello? Please, get me out of here, Lee. Hello? You're being sarcastic about this. You were part of this all along.
I just met him just now.
Mike, please. I'm begging you. I just want to go home. Why? Well, we can give them.
What's this one?
573 9308.
Is that us?
What's going on? I
That's
think
the number.
What? Yeah.
The extension answering. That's the number it came in.
Why are you sitting there knocking about this house, then? Something's going to happen to me.
There's nobody outside.
Yeah, you could call it.
You're okay, right?
But we're not going to know where it is. County should call it.
Right. No, isn't that the county phone number?
Please.
Every time county 911 checks for something over.
Okay.
It's 511 thing.
Get out of here. What's in the phone?
Oh, it does? Hot Suffolk? It's got to be Suffolk, right? Hello? Stop it. Stop it, Mike. Hello, where are you? Huh? Where are you?
What's going on there?
What's your name?
Where's the bathroom? I'll see you.
What's your name? Shannan Gilbert. What's your name? Shannan Gilbert. Where are you? I'm in Long Island.
And Mike's there.
And what's wrong? Huh? What happened? These people are plotting to kill me. Where are you? What's your address? What's your address? My address. What's your address? No, Mike, stop, Mike, here. Mike, stop. Mike, stop, Mike. Mike, stop it. Where are you? Mike, stop it. Mike, stop it. What's your name, Shannan? Huh? Mike, stop. Come here. Where are you? What's your address? Hello?
You want to be in front of police?
Yeah, call them and then I know you can the truth. The address.
What are we going to tell them?
Tell them something. Mike, stop it. You guys are planning something. Mike. Where are you? Mike.
We're fine then. Why are we all...
Are you in the house? Yeah. Mike, stop it. What town are you in? In Long Island. Mike, it's... Where? Stop, Mike. Where in Long Island? Stop it, Mike. Mike, stop it. Hey, stop it.
are you? I don't know. Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Where in Long Island are you?
I don't know. They're gonna kill me.
Are you in a house? Are you in a house?
Yeah.
Whose house is it?
I don't know.
Who is Mike? What's his last name? Mike what? How old are you? What's his last name? What's his last name? What's his last name? Shannan. Shannan. Shannan? Shannan?
Yeah.
What town? What town are you in? Hello? What's Mike's last name? Hello?
They're gonna kill me.
One of the guys said that.
Where are you? Where are you, Shannan? Shannan. Shannan.
963, Ray, 47.
Shannan. I think that's IC08 is one of our extensions, I think. Did you call that one?
Shannan? Hello?
There's a shield on the car.
Shannon? I wonder if she has a phone in her pocket.
Shannon. Shannon. Shannon.
Somebody with you? Huh?
Hello? Hello?
Don't keep yourself hurt. Where are you going? Leave me. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Something like Dopert, D-O-P-E-R-T. Hello? She didn't spell it, but that's what it sounded like.
All right. Wait, Heather, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. Just checking. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unresolved Crimes. I'm your main host, Frank, and I'm being joined by our lovely co-host, Heather. Laura should be here in a second, I think. But yeah, that was probably one of the most terrifying 911 calls I ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a doozy. Okay, let me see where our lovely Laura is. Well, Laura said she could pop in or out because her daughter was asleep, so if she's calling her, she would pop in and out, so it's no issue, but she was here a second ago, so... just messenger. Oh, she can't figure it out, she says. Okay, hold on. But yeah, today we're discussing the Long Island serial killer. What do you know about this case, Heather?
I've been doing a little bit of research more on it today. I've been listening to what you posted with the live so far, and I also found like a podcast that's dedicated to it.
What is Laura?
And I've been listening to that all morning, honestly, and I'm kind of blown away by this case that all these women of this age and stature are just, you know, they leave their hotel and they don't come back.
Hello, Laura. Say hi. Hi. There we go. Oh, damn.
Sorry, I missed the beginning.
No worries, no worries. I was just saying that you and Heather will be joining me on this case. So, and actually, Laura is the one that actually reminded me of this case because I did saw it once in a podcast, I think, but it was just a short video, and I did hear like part of the clip of the frantic 911 call. But the full skill I didn't hear, and it's really terrifying. So Laura, you tell me, what do you know about this case? You introduced me, so.
It's a very strange case because no one really knows if there's one or two killers or if he's been caught but just won't admit to it. I am interested in it because I think the police corruption is linked to it.
Yeah,
what anyone else thinks.
That's kind of a doozy as well, right? I heard about that one lead detective, I think he was, that had like sex with a prostitute in a police car.
Yeah, James Burke, former police chief.
Yeah, how crazy is that? I just figured I would do like a 1 hour before I did the live. Basically, I would think to do like news segment and like the full-on frantic 911 call, so I don't have to do it like between the podcasts while we were talking because it would be taking too much time. But yeah, I have to be honest. That's really a frantic phone call. And I kind of do have my own opinions about that because I used to work in healthcare and I do have a lot of experience with people who have psychotic breakdowns and drug-related psychotic breakdowns as well. So they could be kind of steering that kind of way, and I do know the investigation is kind of steering that way, that it's apparently in a drowning... apparently with somebody whose face is up in the air, so that's kind of amazing. Yeah, that is strange, but we will go on to that later. Anyways, this case has several names, right? So it's called the Long Island serial killer, but it's also called the Craigslist Ripper, I think, and Gilgo Beach Killer. Am I right?
Gilgo Four. I've heard of. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just asking for confirmation.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, yeah, I've only heard it called the Gilgo Four, or LISK.
Okay, hold on. Travis says the volume of my Kosos is really low. Okay, so let me fix that. I turned them up, so it should be good.
I'll try not to mumble, I promise.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so what do we know about, for example, the victims? Because if you look at the story, because it's a totally different story, right? You have Shannan Gilbert. That's not being necessarily linked to the victims that are found on the beach, right?
Some people don't link them, no. I do, in my theory, but no, it's not officially linked.
No, fair enough. No, fair enough. I can see that, and that's kind of the whole like discussion. If you look at like on Reddit and that kind of stuff, that's where the controversy actually starts. And I can see there being a link because it is linked, of course, because the police officer was walking or not walking his canine, but technically, quote unquote, that's what the news segment told us, that he was doing a routine training session, but actually they were looking for her. And well, bodies were found similar to each other. Actually, they were. I think most victims were found in burlap sacks.
Yep. Most of them were found like within a quarter mile of like Gilgo Beach.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, they said that the killings would be far away as like 20 years.
Yeah.
And they, how many victims? Because they're not sure if is it between 10 and 16?
That's what I see.
Yeah, it's something around that, yeah. Oh, it's much better. Thank you, Travis. It's always good to have somebody who's listening from afar to actually see how the volume goes. But see, I can see there being multiple links between Shannan Gilbert and the 911 call and the murders that were found near each other. But I also can see it like from a different standpoint, that she had a psychotic breakdown and it could be an accident. But she, that's the thing. That's why they think. That's why I think they call him the Craigslist Ripper, because the murderer essentially got these. Okay, let me get the story straight. Most women that were found were prostitutes, right?
Yeah, they advertised on Craigslist for their
Yeah.
services and goods.
Okay, there was a little bit of a technical issue if you had no worries though. But they did advertise on Craigslist, that's what you were saying. So I can see that link from there going, like linking Shannan Gilbert to the Long Island serial killer.
Sorry, were they all operating in the same area as well? Because I know that the Gilgo Four were all operating on the west side of Manhattan.
Well, Shannan, I think what I hear from the 911 call is that it's the first time actually she was there. The same with that Mike, that guy who drove her there. And I think there was one coming from Manhattan. I'm not entirely sure, but I think in general they work that region, yeah. So the thing is, I mean, serial killers always intrigue everybody who has a true crime obsession, obviously. But there's something specific about this case, and those are the burlap sacks that they found, because the police officer with the K9 didn't really have that much difficulty actually to find this first victim that they found, because it wasn't buried. It was just kind of out in the open in the burlap sack, and they found bones, right? There was like the body was pretty much deteriorated.
I think Dormer, he said that it looked like the car literally just pulled up and pushed them out of their car and drove off.
Yeah, exactly. And they found a few actually. How much did they find, and how much were they apart?
Was it quarter of a mile? The Gilgo Four were.
It wasn't far.
No, exactly. But I'm curious though, since we do these kinds of researches, obviously, and we are kindly in the blank. But if we do these kinds of researches, and especially with a serial killer who hasn't been caught to this day, and there are many, obviously, the Zodiac, Jack the Ripper, etc. But this one is fairly recent. It's only like 12 years ago that they were found. And a lot of these girls were missing around 2005 and I think 2009, something around that time span.
Okay.
And what my question was, though, if this person really picked up these girls on a Craigslist, for example, then he was kind of, technological advanced, I would say. So that would indicate that it could be a young guy. It could be like that. At least if I look at my parents, my parents wouldn't even know how to use a phone. Or a smartphone, at least. You know.
You laugh, but I struggle with the phone.
Fair enough. You're not that old, though, so.
Okay, fair enough.
No, but I guess back in that time, if you go back to 2005 and that sort of thing, you would be. I didn't have a phone back then. Oh no! What? No, wait. Around that, 2005, I didn't have a phone. Honestly, I did not.
I had a cell phone in 2004, honestly.
But I did not at all. Like, I think the first phone I actually got was a BlackBerry, and you could ping each other.
Yeah.
That was for me like an open world. We did have back in 2002, I think 2003, something around that time span. We actually had a computer, and I remember downloading music through LimeWire and eDonkey, I think it was. And every time the phone would go, you couldn't use the internet. You know that annoying noise, right?
Yep. Good old dial-up.
Yep. And back then I was way younger. But anyways, I'm still young though. I'm only 28, but just stating the obvious. But
go on.
I know, right? But
I've forgotten your name.
Heather.
How old are you? Heather.
I'm Heather. I'm 34.
34. Okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah, Laura and
No problem.
Laura and Heather didn't actually have contact until now, but that's fine. Anyways, what would you guys think the whole psychology would be behind of this guy leaving these victims near each other? Would it be like would it be because it would be a safe area for him? Or would it be, it could be both obviously, but would it be because he wanted to relive like his last victim, for example?
That's hard to tell, honestly. But he must have felt safe depositing the bodies where he did to leave them together and so close. So maybe he never thought he was ever going to get caught, and that was a good spot to let them all lay, but I'd like to know the psychology behind it, honestly.
No, but
I've read. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I've read other cases where people have driven past where they know they've buried bodies because they get that thrill of reliving the whole thing, and almost like it's their trophy section. Like he's lined them up like you would with trophies, I suppose.
But that's the same thing for example, somebody who's addicted on creating fires, that he creates a fire and then actually watch it. Like that kind of psychology. Like he gets a thrill on seeing what he did, and he didn't get caught, obviously, so he knows that he did it, and that's kind of like the whole fetish behind it.
Yeah, that's what you said, isn't it, Heather? I think, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But I guess I do understand that there is a suggestion or an assumption that there might be multiple serial killers because the MO is not always the same. But you have to keep in mind as well that serial killers actually develop their way of killing as well. So there were a few victims that I'm not entirely sure if it was in the same county as Suffolk, but there were mutilated bodies, right? At least from one or two, I'm not entirely sure. And there was even a little baby girl that was found, and a male that was dressed in women's clothing. But if I if I have my recollection right, because I used to watch a lot of Criminal Minds, and I do know it's not really that much good information that you can get from that, but at least what that and also FBI agents and criminal profilers tell that once a person feels comfortable of their way of killing, they try to perfect it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's like when they develop a signature, essentially.
Exactly.
Yes.
And for my sense, if you have like this whole strip, which I gladly put a slideshow on, but I'm too lazy to set it still, so people have to bear with me. So you have like this whole strip, because it's like one line with dead bodies, so it was not spread over. It was kind of structured, to be honest. I mean, fair enough, the bodies were pretty close to each other, but not all bodies. It was like he didn't find those bodies that he dropped like further away, not significant enough or not important enough to drop them off where he killed the first ones. I mean, if these are all connected, does that make any sense? Or because
Sorry.
no worries, because the baby girl was actually it didn't have any inflicted damages. It just died of exposure, which is really sick. And the mother got dropped like a few yeah.
Was that Peaches?
Yeah, that's Peaches, because they didn't identify it,
Yep.
right? No, and that's kind of sick though, because the tattoo artist, the artist who actually made that tattoo, could recollect that tattoo that he or she made, but they couldn't identify the person. I mean, that's a real bummer though. I mean, that's a real headache, isn't it? And the little girl, she also had like earrings on and a necklace.
Yes, they had similar type of jewelry, didn't they?
Yeah. I cannot fathom, I cannot understand how that would be, how that even went.
No. No, it would be the most horrific thing. So you think he definitely he separated the bodies to hurt, to cause more pain?
I honestly, I do not know. That if you, I always try to tend in these kind of cases, I try to visualize myself, how, for example, how I would do that if I would be a smart serial killer, for example, because apparently this is a really intelligent dude. I mean, he didn't get caught for at least like 20 years, what they suggest. You have to be somewhat of an intelligent person, because a lot of serial killers are being caught because of tiny mistakes they make.
Do you think it could be that he's highly intelligent, or could it possibly be that he has people who have his back, maybe?
Yeah, because of the police story, right? I know where you're heading to. Okay, so
just get to my wick.
But let's assume. Let.
Obviously, like, he gets off on the hunting of the hunting behavior, and you know, that process of his ability to control maybe the women.
Yes.
I don't know.
From what I read, at least from I did a criminology course, right? So if you shoot somebody, it's less personal than, for example, if you strangle somebody, and so if you. At least my guess would be, and I'm not entirely sure, so don't pin me in on this, but from what I've read and heard, I think these victims were all strangled, except the male one, except the male Asian one. He died from blunt force trauma.
So, can I ask a question then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Has the only thing I could find that stated how they died and stuff, like did he rape them, was Doma saying that the killer had held on to them for some time, which, you know, you would presume he raped and tortured them.
That could be, but that's kind of hard to tell, because the missing date doesn't necessarily mean that they were directly killed, right?
But do you think that that's what... Sorry, I've completely forgot my point. Go on, you can. Okay, it was really intelligent, but I just... Sorry, it just went...
No worries, no worries. But like I said, that's kind of hard to tell because the missing date does not say anything about, well, I guess the real missing date. You can give up somebody that they are missing, but that does not necessarily mean. I guess it all depends on people who knew the victim, for example, family members.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant when he was describing what the killer had done to them, had done to the bodies, he said he'd obviously held on to them for some time, as in he's done something to them.
Oh, no, I was more talking about, like I said, if you have like the criminology aspect of it, like if you shoot somebody or strangle somebody, there's like a total different demeanor in that. And it would not necessarily mean that, I think ABC News, I'm not entirely sure, or Sky News did like a whole segment on the profiling of this victim, and they, according to them, he was only killing for the thrill, so not for the sexual adventure, because a serial killer is essentially always have like some sort of fantasy. That's why they kill. And then you have obviously the part I was talking with you, Laura, and with you, Heather, about it, that he taunted one of the victims. I think, what was her name? Something.
Oh, was that Melissa? Melissa Bartholomew?
Bartholomew. I cannot say that name.
Oh, my phone cut out. That wasn't me. I swore.
I cannot say her name as well, but I'm Dutch, so I can be excused for saying things wrong.
How do you say that?
Bartholomew. I can't. Heather, you try. Bartholomew. I do apologize if relatives are listening, but.
Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Bartholomew, maybe? Bartholomew?
Yeah, something like that. Well, anyways. Her sister got caught with her phone. So what does that say? After she apparently went missing, or we didn't know if she died yet, but the suspect apparently taunted the sister of Melissa. And
okay, so if this was all done electronically, Craigslist, cell phones, etc., there's IP addresses, MAC addresses, etc., that are attached to the email, to Craigslist, etc., so they should be able to pinpoint like almost exactly what computer or phone it came from, who it belongs to. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be that hard.
They did ping the phone number, and I think it was like in a busy city.
Yeah, the only records I've seen them dig into are the cell phones from the calls from Melissa.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. If they know they must have some more information regarding where these women were looking on Craigslist and their accounts.
Have to, because you have to have an email to set up a Craigslist, etc. And then when you do that, your IP address is going to be attached to that.
But I'm guessing he just called, and you can do it obviously by an unknown number. That's untraceable.
Oh, what? You can just call Craigslist?
No, the number.
Well, if they put their phone number on it, yeah, but...
Hold on, Heather. You sound like a lovely robot right now. Ladies and gentlemen. Still.
It's like you're underwater. You're right.
Still.
Just while you were sorting that, I'm just... Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. She's just popping in and out. Oh, Travis, I do understand there are plenty of fake apps that will give you a free email, phone number, that kind of thing. But if you think it logical wise, right, it like if you intend to kill somebody, and who knows, right, that most of these escorts or prostitutes actually do have somebody that like escort them. So I'm wondering how that worked then. I mean, did this person actually contact them and would meet somewhere, for example. And that's kind of like my psychology behind it, right? Because if you look at this case from Shannan Gilbert, she had this Mike dude who drove her to a close gate community and dropped her somewhere off, right?
I don't think.
And
I think he was just the driver. He wasn't a pimp, but.
No. But he was also her personal security.
Mhm.
So I'm curious that if this happened in all the scenarios, wouldn't you think that it would be like in that area? I mean, at least that's my belief though, but I kind of think differently, but that's just
I
me.
see what you mean.
But if
And actually, one of them, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Amber Lynn Costello, but one of them only ever met a client on her own if she knew them and she was comfortable with them and she'd been with them lots and lots of times before. And before she went and was murdered, she left with nobody. So she had to have known him.
I would say that's kind of the thing though. The people who usually murder these kinds of prostitutes, and obviously I'm not an expert, but the things from what I research, and I do a lot of serial killers, they usually target prostitutes that are like in a district. They pick them up and then they kill them. See, with the whole Shannan Gilbert thing, that is the whole different dimension, because she actually got like a third person, her bodyguard or driver, to go to this close gate community, and I think Mike actually made the appointments for her. Because you can
I don't.
You can also hear him say. You can also hear him say from, yeah, I only met this guy just now.
Yeah, I think that the way another prostitute who worked the area, the way she described it was that she was a friend of Shannon's, she put her information onto Craigslist and said, I'm available, and she would just wait all day with Mike in the car for hours on end, just waiting until they get a text or an appointment. And I think they were going to stop. But that's what I mean. They all worked, the Gilgo Four and I think Shannan all worked the west side of Manhattan. That was their area that they worked, as well as Craigslist.
I mean, sure, it could be totally coincidental on what happened, you know. But I'm just looking like for a broader spectrum. Like, if they didn't get picked up, wouldn't it kind of be like obvious to look like for guys like Mike?
Okay, I totally don't see that, no. But go on, explain, persuade me.
No. See, so from a third point of view, right? So this Mike dude makes the appointment for these kind of girls, and with all due respect, if you any sort of thing to get yourself around is perfectly fine. I mean, sure, if you're out of jobs, you want to be actors, whatever, if that floats your boat, yeah, sure, go for it. But if you have like this second person, right, who works with you, is technically quote unquote your security, also your driver. So you go up to this place, and I wouldn't assume that if you are a serial killer that you work that way, that you actually want to earn money for somebody, and then afterwards go like, nah, you're not earning enough for me, and then just dump them somewhere that you're familiar with. Because Mike actually said that he didn't know that area as well, besides Manhattan. So that was either, I'm guessing he did that for a reasonably price. For example, if you get like $500, you offer like $1,500 or something like that. And it wouldn't be the first time to be like lured into that, because you would get a higher rate, because it was a fairly new area for them. At least that's what you can hear from the 911 call.
Yeah.
And then it's total coincidental, I guess. It's total coincidental that they found Shannan and then found all these bodies at once.
So you think that they were completely separate incidents?
Well, I can do all the assumptions that I want, but I do not know that. I honestly do not know that answer. But it seems like, from all the evidence that we got, that it seems separate.
Okay. Can I ask another question?
Yeah, sure. You can ask all the questions you want.
Where do you think he killed them? Do you think he killed them in a car, or do you think he took them to a nearby hotel motel? Do you think he lived nearby?
I think
What's your
I was thinking about that. I think he definitely killed them somewhere else, and he used probably at his home or at his own business or something like that, because the burlap sacks actually can tell that. I wouldn't assume that somebody would kill somebody and have like standard burlap sacks in his in his car. It could be, obviously.
You never know.
No. But see that. A human creature is a creature of habit, right? So that's why he murdered these victims, put them in burlap sacks, and put them near each other.
Do you think it's any coincidence that the main supplier of burlap sacks in that area killed himself?
Yes, that's a strange thing, right? That's a strange thing. Yeah, I heard that as well.
Oh, he's Heather back.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Heather.
Welcome back. Yeah, I heard that as well. But didn't they find like any DNA?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, then there you go.
Heather, what do you think about? Do you think he? Where do you think he killed them?
I think it was at a different site. I think where the bodies were found is just a dumping ground, honestly. Because I've looked at the map of like the beach, for instance. There's like really only one way in and one way out of that beach. And you'd have to be familiar with it and know when the people are going to be there and when they're not, etc., to be able to just run in there, drop some people off, and run back out. I don't think they were killed on the beach.
No.
I think he gained their trust enough that they felt enough comfortable that they went somewhere, maybe his place, who knows, but he definitely manipulated them into this situation.
What could it be like? The kind of MO, I guess, for example, a prostitute to gain somebody's trust. Would that be money, looks, whatever? Would he have like multiple contacts with the same individual in order to gain their trust?
It's a possibility.
But if you think,
but if he is linked in law enforcement, like it kind of leans to a little bit, then he knows how to cover his track, So.
See, Heather's on the same wavelength as me.
Corruption. But
two against one.
I'm always on the corruption. Question everything.
Absolutely.
We weren't going down that rabbit hole, right? We were going to try to make an hour full about this case. Just stating the obvious. But like I said, that's the thing, though. Fair enough. It's real good that they did the whole corruption case. But there was also this carpenter in fuck my life, I cannot remember the name.
John Bid.
Yeah, exactly, John, and he Burnettville, something like that. Why do Americans all have like these crappy surnames or last names? I guess that's an American thing. That's the thing when you have like a lot of Italians living there. You get like all crazy names. Nah, kidding. I love you, Italians. I love the mob, by the way, as well. Just saying. Nah. No. But if you, so this guy actually got, he's in jail right now because he killed 2 prostitutes back in 1993, I think.
Yep.
And he got connected by this case as well because he was actually a friend of one of the victims with Michelle. Italian last name thingy, and and that's kind of how they linked together, because they knew each other, and then obviously if you knew somebody, then you have that phone of that girl who got killed, and then apparently you lived there as well. Because I remember the video of the criminologist I sent you, Laura. At the end, he kind of said that like as a cliffhanger. He said, "Yeah, this guy was a carpenter, and he had contact with or already knew like the girl who got killed." So that was kind of his perspective on that. But yeah, like I said, the whole, I mean, criminology can be really fun though. The profiling part is as well, but they said it was a male between 20 and 40. That's a really broad range, of course. Apparently he was married, probably had children, had a well-paying job. That's kind of obvious, because you don't live in Long Beach Island if you don't have, like, enough money, because I guess that's a pretty,
weren't the bodies killed at certain, or weren't the bodies buried at certain times of the year as well, as if he only had a summer house there or something?
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Or maybe it wasn't accessible in the winter. Maybe the beach isn't accessible in the winter.
Oh, okay, that's a good point.
Ooh.
And the other thing was about not making a mess on the scene. What about a boat? Could he have had a boat and transported them that way?
That's just an idea.
I guess like there could be.
There are a lot of like little islands and stuff out there. You know, I mean, it's a possibility.
If he would have a boat, wouldn't he be better off than dumping them in the ocean?
But then he wouldn't be able to visit them as much, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. Just.
I don't know, hang a buoy, maybe? Sorry.
I don't know. That's too much. That's too much like Dexter, you know.
I know. I was thinking about that. Like put little glass samples with blood on it.
Honestly, that's one of my favorite shows.
Did you watch the new one?
Yeah, I've seen
really
all
good.
of them.
It's really good.
Yes.
But they kind of put you like into this serial killer mind, right? And I know he does it like from all good, but that what happens to us with people who are like true crime obsessed. We watch those kind of series just because we want to know how it would be on the other end of the line.
Yeah. I think he probably resides in Long Island.
Yeah.
I think he didn't want to shit where he lived. You know, he didn't want to do anything close to home, and he didn't want to do anything too far away because he doesn't know, you know, the aspects of things. So I think maybe like he lives in Long Island, and then went over to Manhattan, you know, because he knew it, but it was far enough away that he was shitting in his own backyard.
But if you think about it as well, I mean, it's a long strip of, it's not really a highway, is it? It's like, but so you can see headlights coming from both ways, so it would be a perfect spot from him not getting caught.
Yeah.
What would you think the scenarios would be that he would, what would the scenario be like his first kill, for example? Because I honestly do not think that this is his first victim or victims.
You don't think that Maureen Brainerd Barnes is the first one?
No. The whole burlap sack thingy kind of tells that apart from the rest of the victims, because not all of them were like covered up in a way, and I think that kind of has like a psychology part on when you kill somebody. So if you try to not wanting to make a mess, but he could like just drop them there and that's it. But he decided to put them in a burlap sack. So that's the main reason why I think they've got to kill somebody else, because he needed to conceal it.
Can I just?
I just shocked my own mind by that thought. Honestly, I was like, okay, holy shit, that actually makes sense.
I'm glad you're not the only one. Can I just ask another question? It's so annoying. Sorry.
No.
What do you think, either of you, that there could be a possibility that that it is John, and someone else, or maybe I was going to say something about police corruption, but I don't want to now because now I'm too scared.
No. You can. Obviously, you can. I mean, that wouldn't be the first time, though. I mean, I think the Golden State Killer was once a police officer as well, so he kind of knew how to avoid detection.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the first time, though. But what?
But also.
Go ahead.
No, go on.
It's just the first time it came to light. There probably are plenty of other victims if this guy is prolific as he appears to be.
Yeah, true. But what?
Do you think he stopped?
That's a good one. Well, if he's behind Jill, then he definitely stopped. Yeah, kind of hinting to your direction, but. But what were you?
Are there any more confirmed victims or anything after 2010?
Yeah.
Any other missing sex worker girls or anything after 2010?
Yeah, there are. Let me see. In another county, right? There were victims found, Laura.
Sorry. Yes. I don't know, but I do know that there have been prostitutes missing. But I think the problem with that is that, according to some of them, they would be too frightened to come forward to tell if anyone's missing, and they don't have families, so it's only the other girls that they work with that know that they're missing.
Mm-hmm.
The women are too frightened to come forward.
Well, I think in not only in Suffolk County but the county next to it, I'm not entirely sure what that is, but there were also remains found from mutilated bodies, and they did get connected with the Gilgo Beach Four, I think.
Okay.
So I think the body count is around 16, 17.
They said definitely 10. Allegedly up to 16, 17.
So this guy has been. What was that, Heather?
I believe there's more. You don't just kill only 10 or only 16 people. That's how it works. Like you said before, humans are creatures of habit. He's going to continue to do what he was doing until he got caught. So we only just found out, but I bet there's more.
But why do you think a serial killer does that many body count? Then he doesn't do it like for a fantasy, right? Yeah, it could be obviously, but I think he does it more for like the thrill. And yeah, that was kind of my question. I'm not gonna get any answers. Okay, Laura popped up. No worries. She will come back eventually, I guess. Heather, you still there?
But we're good.
You're still sounding like a robot, though.
I don't know why.
Oh, there we go. You're not in the mountains anymore, are you?
No, I'm sitting at work again.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, hold on. Let me check though if they actually. I want to know how many people. But that's kind of the thing though, and I always find that, well, not really it's useful information, but when you find like a dead body that doesn't really have the MO of the suspected serial killer that you have, it's kind of being quickly linked to the bodies that are actually being found.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that kind of gives oh yeah, Laura's with her daughter. She's having a bad dream. Oh, no worries, no worries. But it kind of gives like a false. For example, if you have like Jack the Ripper, right? He claimed murders that he did not even do, and the Zodiac apparently did that as well. So it kind of makes it confusing on who his first victim would be, or who his last victim would be, because the MO like totally changed because he's perfecting his way on killing.
Yeah, it's becoming more. It became more of a ritual.
Yeah.
At some point, but at some point the MO did change, right? He started like cutting their torsos off, etc. Whereas before he hadn't. And so is he like progressing into like that spiral of he's getting more unstable, or was he like perfecting it more? Like,
and that's why they are thinking there are more serial killers involved in this, or more people involved in this, because the MO changed that much.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of curious though, because if you have you used to have a lot of serial killers that, for example, would try to cut off a limb, and they knew the struggle that they made with cutting. So you had like a leg bone or a leg, for example, that got a halfway cut, and they figured, yeah, I'm not gonna do it that way, I'm gonna do it differently. That's like a hesitation cut. So and then they actually did cut right, and they would like in order to do that, they perfected that way, and then with the next victim they would do it right. So it's kind of like practice, for example. So I'm wondering though why this. You have one victim that is standing out, and that's the female or male Asian, but he was wearing women's clothing, so I guess it was transgender. I doubt that killer actually knew that, and he died of blunt force trauma. That's the only thing we know for sure, that he died from blunt force trauma. Why would you think that is?
Okay. Well, I think the killer found out that it wasn't a girl.
Yep.
Might have lost his shit a little bit and hit him, hit him hard enough that he just didn't wake up again.
But what does it say about?
I mean, that's a common thing. If you are surprised by somebody, in that manner, sometimes they don't take it the best way and they act out violently and end up killing them, or horrible hate crimes, etc. So I can understand that element of surprise, and then like boom, you're gone by. But yeah. But
if you okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So if you would see somebody that, well, nowadays you cannot see the difference anymore, but if you will go up, like, for example, here in Netherlands we have a red light district, right? So you can actually see where you're wanting to quote unquote ... and you can actually see if it's a woman or a girl. So he would figure that out after the deed would have been done. So if he wanted to have like sex with him or whatever, or he knew that beforehand. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So I'm guessing that this guy obviously had somewhat a form of transport. I'm guessing a car or a pickup or whatever.
Ice cream truck, who knows?
That ice cream truck, yes. Well, you said something right. Yeah, you cracked the case, Heather. Good job. Okay, so this is probably I'm guessing that this is a man, right? I'm not getting the indication that this is a woman.
Right.
It could be, obviously. But why prostitutes?
No idea, honestly. I mean, for everything that I've gathered in my lifetime of intelligence and what I've seen on entertainment TV regarding how easy of targets prostitutes are for people to take out these kinds of fantasies on. I think that's why they're
easy
pinpointed
targets.
for it. Like
Yeah.
they're spotted for it.
Easy targets.
Yeah, these are people who will do drugs and have sex in exchange for money, etc. So, you know, maybe in the killer's eyes, these people are degenerates. They don't have no family. They ain't doing no good anyway. So.
No, but that's why I think the Shannan Gilbert case, although it's really coincidental that these bodies got found after she got missing, but that's what I kind of was going towards to, because I think the killer in this case picked him up and then killed him somewhere else.
Yep. Which in all actuality works to the killer's advantage, because there's not all that evidence that's hanging around because the body's not in the same spot, you know, and it kind of puts the detectives and investigators at a dead end at that point, because there's just this body with no evidence in a burlap sack on the beach.
No, exactly. But hold on, let me get that map. Map. I'm always when there's like evidence of the bodies being shown on maps and stuff, I kind of always try to pinpoint what direction they were going. I know it perhaps sounds really stupid, but
no, it makes sense, because like my brain is always looking for a pattern.
yeah,
And like looking at the Suffolk County crime scene mapping of the beach and the investigations and all the little dots along that road, like, yeah, come on.
come on. Okay, hold on. So
They were placed all so close to each other, all on one road, pretty much.
yeah, that's kind of the pattern I'm seeing as well, and I think it's definitely a local, or he's from New York City or Manhattan.
Or Long Island.
No, like I said, it could be a local, definitely.
Yep.
But like
But you gotta think, like, there are millions of people crammed in, you know, a 5-mile block of a city.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna be hard to find that needle in the haystack with that many people living that sardined together.
Oh, definitely. But what my logical, at least it's my logic, but if you, for example, would kill this many people, you obviously have, like I said, a human being is a creature of habit. I would go like from New York to that road that you have, because I have let me see, the Google Maps thingy right here.
Yeah, there's only one bridge and one way in and one way out of this place.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can get like the good thingy. Now I would definitely go from let me see, north, east, south, west. I would go from the west side like to the east side. That's how I would drive, because these victims were so close to each other. It doesn't make any sense to get like from east to west, for example. Like the bodies do not make any sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does. No, it does. It makes complete sense.
But as Laura said as well, it's kind of peculiar that the #1 burlap exporter killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's like no indication. I would guess that within 12 years of research, they would investigate that. And
you would think, right?
And if they did ask Joe Rifkin, also a notorious serial killer, that he did this, but he couldn't possibly have done this because of the time span that he actually got caught. And I think one of the victims got missing in 2009. and he was long caught before that. But he would say, I think it could be a landscaper or fisherman or someone that is being used to carrying heavy burlap sacks.
To think of like what commercial trade, etc. I mean, I know there's a port. I know there's a port in Manhattan. There's all sorts of, you know, stuff that's coming in and out of that city. But what are they? What product did they bring in those burlap sacks that the people were found in? You know, like a coffee burlap sack's gonna have coffee residue in it. A marijuana burlap sack's gonna have marijuana residue in it. So
it could be brand new sacks.
Potatoes, even.
That's true. But you have, like, for example, gardeners use burlap sacks all the time for planting trees and that kind of stuff. But then again, it's kind of like the whole demeanor that that he did as well, because he didn't like do any effort on actually burying the bodies. Like, he just threw them out there. So I'm guessing the burlap sacks were to conceal what he did, and then just get rid of them as fast as possible.
Well, he accomplished that, obviously. He accomplished that very well, unfortunately. But, you know, I find it hard to believe on this road with one way in, one way out, that ain't nobody seen nothing nowhere.
But this is pretty secluded area, right? So he's definitely a local and knew this.
Give me one moment. I'm hiding in the corner.
You're hiding in the corner. You find this way too interesting. I got that.
My coworker's listening too, though. He's hanging on to every word, so.
Oh, really? Is he enjoying it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, just give me a second, though. See, that's a good thing about doing a live instead of a recording. I could actually go to the toilet and then be excused. Because, yeah, human needs, right?
Right.
Okay, I got a thought though. So are you there?
You're back.
Oh yeah, I'm back. So I was thinking, right? If he decided to kill all these girls and put them in burlap sacks, what would be the whole demeanor of the burlap sacks if he didn't like do it at his own home?
Right. Maybe the sacks were to conceal him from carrying the body from, say, his house to his vehicle, or from wherever it happened.
Exactly. So I definitely think that he did it somewhere where he felt safe, but didn't feel safe enough to don't put them into like or felt the need to conceal them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. If these burlap sacks were, for example, being used for flour, yeast, I don't know what do you have more, coffee beans, potatoes, there should be traces of evidence for that. But if they're brand new,
even like fibers from something like burlap is a very rough fabric, and like you drag that on the ground, it's gonna pick everything up on that ground, etc. So some things left behind. I don't think they're doing a very thorough job on this, essentially.
but the family members and relatives are really pissed off about the police as well, because they didn't they're not releasing anything important about these cases.
Right. And that's the thing, they always want us to steer clear and let them do their job, etc. But like there's other points of view, etc. that if everybody had a little bit more information, we could all band together and help solve it, instead of just leaving it to the 5 people in the police department who are working on it, maybe.
But what kind of person would so we do know that this secluded area is pretty, well, not really known to non-locals, right?
Right.
So what kind of person would use this kind of stretch of road? Because if it wasn't for the canine that actually sought for it, then these girls would never have been found.
Yeah.
So there is a person who has obvious knowledge geographically about this place, visited multiple times. What kind of person would that be? Would he go, for example, to the beach many times? Would it be a surfer, for example?
Oh, no. There's no surfing in that water, I promise.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Yeah, no, no, you go surfing in California and stuff like that. You don't go surfing in Manhattan or Long Island. There's no waves. There's nothing like that there.
Okay. But what makes a person like looks like a really dull part? Maybe like, yeah, as you said, a fisherman or some person who goes fishing there.
Like Laura said, it possibly could be a guy with a boat. It could be. However, boats don't go on roads, and all these bodies are found right along that road.
Oh, exactly. But what if it's just a regular fisherman? I like fishing too, but I don't necessarily have a boat as well, right? Could be for example, a fly fisher, because there is like I say Cedar Beach or something like that. You could go like just regular fishing there. Then in your back you go like, yeah, I killed all these people here.
Are there any? Is there any housing? Any little huts? Any little shacks? Anything on that whole little island?
Let me see. You have a golf course here?
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing all state fields.
Okay.
You have a lighthouse. So this is Oak Beach. Yeah.
Is
oh,
this
holy shit!
Is there rangers that work and like watch this property or anything?
Here it is. I was saying it was maybe just a regular fisherman, right?
Right.
It said here, Sport Fishing Education Center. That's like the building that we see, like where the bodies were found. Oh my God! I don't like assumptions, but this guy is definitely a fisherman. I do not know. This is totally by accident. Wait, let me send you this.
Okay.
This is, yeah, that's crazy. See, I always get excited when I find out new things. That's why researching is so fun. Hold on. I will actually do it in the slide image as well.
Are you putting that in our general chat?
Yes.
Okay.
That's crazy. Why would you otherwise go out there? I mean, yeah, sure, it's a nice beach, but there is like always a reason.
Okay, I'm looking at the picture now. Salt Shack, Cedar Beach Arena.
Yeah, Sport Fishing Education Center.
Sport Fishing Center. Wow, yeah, right there. Okay. And the golf course. And is it like an itty bitty airport or is that a parking lot?
Well,
oh no, it's like a parking lot. Overlook Beach.
Okay, hold on. This just took a whole other turn. So we agreed that this guy is familiar with the area, right?
Of course.
So, for example, he would be like this old fisherman dude. I don't know. Could be a hunter as well. We did not have a clue, but he do knew this area. And if you look at the Ocean Way, you need like this sidetrack road in order to actually dump the bodies where he dumped them.
Yeah.
So you have the Ocean Highway, and then you have like the side road, the Ocean Coastal Greenway. In order to get those bodies there, you need to go there. For a non-local, that would not make any sense. But then again, you need to think about that he just dropped them there. Like he knew that nobody would just go there. So in that general region where I would think at least, he would have knowledge of that area and go, yeah, nobody's not gonna look here. And I think if you have a boat, for example, then it's really possible to actually go there by boat. If there's like a sport fishing center.
Oh yeah. There's a couple of marinas there. So if there's marinas, there's docks, there's places to bring your boat in, put your boat down on the ramp, etc.
Damn.
So this
is possible by boat.
To wonder if they even, since that little sporting center is so close, if the authorities even got the check-in list from that place, because when you go there, you sign up basically for a class. If it's,
Okay.
So there should be some sort of record of who was there.
Okay, let me.
Unless you go like pro golf.
Let me send this link, or send this photo real quick. So this is where all the bodies got found, and it doesn't not necessarily mean that it's in the highway. What would be my obvious guess, though, that it would be, but it could be like a misleading place to do that. But hold on, let me see. Am I even looking at the right thing? Yeah, I am. Okay, so in this general area. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. If you look at the Hemlock Cove that I sent,
yeah,
I think that it's pretty much a possibility that it was by boat.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
I'm blowing my own mind right now. So that would mean this person then, although it's a hypothesis that we do, of course. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Makes more sense that those bodies would be there than by car.
Yeah.
Would explain the freaking burlap sacks. But what kind of boat would you use, though? I mean, you need to have access from at least Long Island. You need to have access to a boat.
Right. Well, I'm looking at a picture that shows like the water between that road and Manhattan.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of little islands and stuff right there, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at all of the ports that are all along Manhattan there. They all feed in. So, I mean, it could be anybody.
You have like so many ports, right?
Yeah.
But I would then, with this new knowledge, I would definitely think this guy, he didn't drive. I don't believe that. A boat would be more obvious, honestly, if you look at the bodies as well. And let me see. Yeah, without a doubt.
Because the bodies aren't only along the road.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of them that are like on the other side of the island, where on my map it says Huntington.
But if you see, fair enough, it's all along the road, right? But it's also accessible by water. So it wouldn't be like a big boat or something. From all we know, it could be a rowboat.
Well, that's a possibility, or it could be like a charter boat.
Yeah.
You know, it could be somebody from Atlantic City, because Atlantic City's not that far away by boat. Philly's right there too. Philadelphia not that far.
I feel if
there's a lot of people crammed in that. Yeah.
I feel if you have the accessibility by boat, which this Long Island is known for the boats, right? I would feel like it would be more possibility and more logic that he did this by boat. Now that we're talking about it, I can see the pattern.
Yep. Hi, how are you? Oh yeah.
Keep in mind, by the way, if anybody is listening, Heather is working, so.
Sorry, y'all.
Sorry, y'all. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. What would be the logical route that he took? Because I was talking with Laura about this. I was like, yeah. But what would be the most? I was just talking with you about this as well. But what would be the most logical route? And I never thought about boat. But this whole city is 99% boats instead of roads.
Yeah. It's literally surrounded by water.
Yeah. Okay, so if I was a serial killer, where would I come from? Yeah, that's a good one. I know it's a long shot, but you know what would be crazy?
There was a Lifetime movie that they think that it's connected to Atlantic City somehow. And I haven't seen it yet. I'm just remembering something I was told. But I'm gonna look into that and see what this little Lifetime film has to say about it. But
so you have all these kind of
possibility that because that's only 150 miles away. It's a 2.5 hour drive by car. Boat's probably quicker.
Yeah. So if you have all these like little harbors, right? There has to be some company that uses burlap sacks along that road or along that shoreline.
Could be anything, but I'm looking at a closer picture of the map. One that's probably only like a football field above the ground, looking down. And I see a lot of houses. Like there's a community here. They all have docks, etc. And if I understand, like communities that are like this, that are a little bit more pricey, etc. They're more private. They don't want people coming into their neighborhood and snooping around, etc.
Close communities.
But there's houses here. Somebody had to have seen something.
Maybe they had cameras back then. Oh, that one. I see what you mean. The Ocean Walk.
Yep.
Huh, a good one. Oh, damn, that's actually a real good one. No, but if it would be like a car, then those people will definitely know, right? Who knows? Maybe you just exactly got the spot where the...
Well, I'm not sure. I will look into this real quick, but this is just on the top of my brain at the moment. On the East Coast here, there is a lot of toll roads. Like, you've got to pay to drive on the roads.
That does not make sense, right?
And I know going from New York to New Jersey, you've got to pay to go through the tunnel, etc. And when you pay, there's record of your license plate number, because there's cameras there and everything, you know. So I'm wondering if one of those bridges coming onto this island where the bodies were found, one of them might be a toll bridge.
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm gonna look.
So you have West Gilgo Beach. Oh, that makes so much sense.
He's in jail. But he's only in jail for 4 murders, and there's 10 to 16 murders found in the same area. But he's only sitting in there for the 4.
Who, John? That carpenter.
View image. Here we go. What was Watauga State Parkway is one bridge, and then Robert Moses Causeway is the other bridge. Let me see.
And now that I'm zooming in, you have on Oak Island, you have also all these docks.
Yep.
But I would assume that you wouldn't want to be, if you would kill somebody, not too long on a boat. Because I guess it would kind of be that obvious. So I'm guessing if I would be that kind of person that want to murder people and want to dispose of a body that fast as possible, I wouldn't take like a long, well, I want to say boat drive, but a journey, I guess. Yeah, definitely. I don't. This guy is definitely. I thought it was broader than I was actually thinking, but I think that guy might actually live on the same strip, for example. And I'm seeing the houses that you mean. And that makes so much sense.
So if he has a boat, I'm assuming he has an SUV or a pickup truck to be able to tow that thing.
Unless he has a dock near his house.
Right, correct.
Yeah, I think we're onto something. Well, I'm guessing the police wouldn't that stupid that they didn't consider this, but...
Right, because it appears one way, they probably haven't thought that it might be the other. I'm not sure.
But
It does appear like he put him in a car and dumped him along the road in a car. It does appear that way.
Yeah, it looks like that way.
For it to appear that way, then that again shows that he has adapted as the killer, and he's learning to get better.
Mm-hmm. But if you see, for example, the picture I sent with all the victims on it, right?
Yep.
It's always near a body of water.
Yep.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, then he like parked his boat and just threw them. But I can see the thing with the water. Whatchamacallit, the car being a possibility as well.
Yeah.
Or you wanted to make it look like that. That's crazy. I'm wondering what that looks like on close. Can you actually like see the water?
There's no like a New York Department of Transportation cameras on any of those bridges or causeways. Because like those are huge bridges to get across. And I know Department of Transportation over here, they got cameras everywhere. Now, now that it's 2022, but I would think at least on a bridge that there would be a camera.
But like you said, if it's a tollway, then if you would come from like outside the city, then there would be registrations for that, right?
I would think so, yeah.
If that is true what you're saying, then it's either two possibilities. Then either he avoided those toll roads because he was living inside those, like living inside so he didn't have like to pay toll or whatever, or he was going by boat. So that one bridge, let me see, what bridge was it called again?
It is called the Robert Moses Causeway.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Wantagh State Parkway.
But if you look to the right, if you have like that Moses Bridge, I would just call it that. Then you have like the longest stretch of beach I see. You have like a bridge further away when you drive like straight forward. Friar Island Inlet Bridge.
Yeah.
I would guess that nobody would even come up there. Why not dump the bodies there?
Yeah. And honestly, if he was in a boat, Laura did make a good point that he wouldn't be able to return to the spot and see the work that he did, etc. And honestly, maybe he didn't think they were going to be found for a while. But if you throw a body in the water, it's gonna float, and somebody's gonna see it eventually. Like.
Fair enough. And I actually didn't. Now I can see why there would be a boat, though. Definitely. But it wouldn't be like a big boat. It would be like the silent one. It does have a motor, but
like a little charter fishing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not necessarily that though.
Maybe the guy who did it works at that fishing center, because those people would have access to boats that aren't theirs, that couldn't be tied to them.
So maybe he drove up there. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, let me check. Oh, you can actually... Damn. So if you use Google Maps, right, you can actually see drive into the fishing station and actually see the water.
Oh, from like Google Maps?
Yeah.
God, I love Google Maps and Google Earth. What did we do before it? MapQuest, right?
You know, there is actually an unsolved case that a guy was looking at Google Maps, and there was an unsolved case with he was missing and his car was missing. It was like 5 years ago.
Yep.
And Google Maps solved it. But indeed, it could be like one of those charters.
The guy who is sitting in prison right now for the 4 confirmed murders, do we have access to contact him?
I think he got caught for 2, I think, because of DNA.
2?
Yeah. And his brother is acting really suspicious as well.
Oh, so it could have been a family thing.
Family feud. Sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
That could be. But if you see, for example, that Hemlock Cove as well, then I wonder though, because I don't see like any docks where he like get off.
Right.
But you do have, like, for example, if you have like those boats that can actually go like partially up upland, like just a speed, well, not a speedboat, but those rubber thingies, a rubber boat.
Right.
Or you need to get like wet feet or something. But I'm not discluding a boat.
No, not at all.
I'm trying to find out if I can get like a closer picture on where they were actual. Let me see. Well, they were found more closest to the road than to the water, though. But I can see Laura's point. But why, if a person is a creature of habit, why drop 4 bodies near each other, then the Asian male a bit further, then you have Jessica Taylor. Oh wait, so the bodies were found in 2010. 1, 2, 3, 4 were found in 2010. What if he didn't stop killing, and those were new bodies? But he thought like, yeah, my original spot is too hot right now, but I still like the area that I put them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop them. Not that close anymore.
I know there's one piece of evidence that was released to the public in 2020, and it was a picture of a belt.
Yeah, that MW, MH, or HM, something.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, put that on the slideshow as well. Let's see. See, I'm not insinuating that we're gonna solve this, but I think we're doing a pretty good job on getting information. Nah, kidding. Okay, where do we have it? Oh. There we go. Oh, I need to. There we go. Yeah, the John Bitroff, he's being suspected of 2 murders and actually got DNA tested. And oh, he's in jail now. But that was back in 1993, I think.
Yeah.
Then you also have the. Did you see that Peter Hackett, that doctor?
I did not.
Peter Hackett actually called Shannan Gilbert her mother and told her that she was missing, and then she got found I think basically behind his house. And then
Behind his house?
Yeah, behind his house. But it was all like this kind of weeds that would grow really big, and after 1.5 years, I think, or a year later, Shannan, his body got discovered before or after these other victims were found. And the autopsy said that she the autopsy said she died by accidental drowning, and so the family hired another person to do the autopsy, and he couldn't exclude that her I think her femur was partially broken by, and that indicates strangulation, something.
With a broken femur?
Yeah, do not pin me on it.
I was gonna say the femur's in your leg. That's the big bone in the top of your leg.
So that's not what I meant. But anyways.
Okay.
Anyways, it could be an indication of strangulation. Like I said, I'm Dutch. I can make mistakes.
That's fine.
Oh, here you have a better.
I know, like petechial hemorrhaging is an indication of strangulation.
With
like
the eyes, right?
When
with
the
the dots.
turn pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this picture is crazy. Hold on. Where you at? There you at. Your colleagues still listening?
Yep.
There we go. Okay, send it. I'm gonna put it on the slide as well. Because I was actually looking for this picture, but I couldn't get like a proper view on it because I was also curious where Shannan got found, and I couldn't find it. And now suddenly I got it. Woohoo!
Right, see it.
So Shannan got found all the way to the right, in a gated community. So what is the pattern? Agreed.
And I know the cost of living in these types of areas is absolutely atrocious. So it would have to have been somebody that had some substantial funds in some way.
Would you think this person would be married?
Married? Ooh. I don't know.
Would you think he had a luxury to have like prostitutes come over? If you think that our theory that he killed them at home, right?
Right.
I mean, sure, you can go.
Wasn't an earring found in the doctor's driveway?
I do not know that. Then he could be killing, obviously, because he didn't want word to come out that he had like sex with a prostitute.
Right.
Or he could want to keep a secret for his wife, obviously. Like, some of these girls obviously do blackmail as well, especially if you're like a little bit wealthier than them.
Right. They'll extort you a little bit. That's, yeah.
Go on. Laura is asking if we're still on. Yes, we are. And, well, there are multiple reasons. There are like crazy reasons why somebody would kill each other, of course, but
one I don't understand is the baby. Like, where did the baby come from?
I think the person who was an escort actually got her baby with her.
Ew. Been there, done that. That's not fun. my good old mother was, you know, an upstanding citizen such as these ladies. So I can understand.
I kind of wanted to say something, but I blanked out. I do apologize.
No worries.
Yeah, I think definitely in this strip. I don't think they even come from like the big city.
Maybe works in the city, but lives out of it for sure.
But if you want to do like the tollways, that would be like a crazy risk for getting caught.
Exactly.
But then again, dropping a body off close at your home wouldn't be the first time though.
No. A lot of them like to just put them in the backyard of their house, so.
And this person probably thought, yeah, my backyard is the water, so that's not going to be an option.
Yeah, what blows me away is the grouping of Amber, Melissa, Maureen, Megan, and Jessica. They're pretty much all on top of each other.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why would he do that? That's more like a trophy thing.
Yeah.
Well, my mind is going blank here. It's almost 2 o'clock. 12 o'clock here.
Oh yeah, it's getting late for you, huh?
Mm-hmm. But what would you think that HM would mean?
Possibly initials?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, and it's not like it looks like a store brand on that belt, you know. It looks like somebody put those there, so it's not like H&M store. It's not a brand name on it.
No, exactly. But would you think like a younger person would put his initials in? I wouldn't think like an older person would do that. That's a really old thing. I would not even brand my own clothes. I know how it would look like. I'm a smart person. So that kind of gave me the indication that this person must be around 40-ish. Maybe older, maybe younger.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he's, if it is a he, and I'm guessing it's a he, then he will be, well, definitely dominant enough to, well, to strangle these girls. Well, we do not know, I say that, but I do not know the official, cause of death, but I guess you need to be like a strong guy in order to, fight off these girls, right? Unless you drug them.
And then what the discount? Will you tell me how much it is?
Well, I'm proud of us, Heather. We at least made like more than an hour full only talking about this case, and I think we got some interesting things to look at. And who knows, maybe we can do a follow-up on this case.
We did really good, staying on track and on task. So I'm proud of us for sure.
It will get better each day.
Of course.
Yeah. And yeah, we do actually have an update to announce as well for your mother's case, right?
Okay.
She says okay, like she doesn't know, but she does. No, we tried to contact one of the speed free how do I pronounce that? Is it speed freak highway killers, or yeah, it is, right?
Speed freak killers, yeah.
Speed freak killers, yeah. And we well, one guy actually killed himself, and one guy is still awaiting his death sentence. So we contacted him in order to get more information for Heather, our mother, Terry Ann Forche. Do I still say that name right? Well, anyways, today I got a message back, an email back from the correction facility that he was actually in, and that we could write him a letter. So we're gonna write him a letter in the hopes that we can get a collect call from him. And that's kind of our only lead we actually have, right? We tried the hotel she was last seen, and well, that guy actually was really friendly. He worked at in '89, I think, so that's 2 years short. But he said he had a friend who worked at that hotel at the time, and we were kind of hoping that he's gonna call, right? And then we have the FOIA request that we did, which you kind of made a good point that we probably need to wait till Monday. So we made a lot of progress with that case as well, but we're not gonna take no for an answer, obviously. Nah, that woman was really pissing me off. Although she was really nice, I was like, yeah, if it's public information, then just give it. It's not a ongoing investigation. The fuck is your problem?
Hey.
But
like when you called her, I could only hear your end of it. I couldn't hear whatever they were saying on the other end. But I could tell she was getting, on your nerves a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And I get that, right? I mean, obviously you need like good reason to get public information, but yeah, it's public information for a reason. So why wouldn't you give it?
Yeah.
So she was asking me all these biased questions while I already did a FOIA request. So come on. And I just didn't get any answer, and so I figured, yeah, I'm gonna call her. But Heather, if you don't mind, I'm gonna close the live. Thank everybody for listening. Right. We almost have like 2 hours.
Not bad.
Well, indeed, it's not bad. You got to meet Laura as well?
Yes, she's been on 20 years for some more. I like the friendly banter and the other ideas that she brought to the table, and I look forward to that.
Oh, she shouldn't be that so self-confident. She's really shy, and she's really sweet. So, I kind of...
She has a very pleasant voice.
Yeah,
so
she does, right? I keep telling her that.
Yeah.
Well, she's from the UK, and everybody apparently from the UK is loving and charming and loving fish and chips. Only I do not like Prince Harry, though. That dickhead. Nah, kidding. Okay. Well, anyways, thank you for listening, and until the next time.